Hey you guys, Jeffrey Howells carpet cleaning here, and we're in Vancouver, Washington. We were just out here a couple days ago. This is the place that we had cleaned, and I was coming back out because things got dark, ran out of sunlight, and I couldn't see clearly exactly what was going on down here. So I just come back and we're going to do a walkthrough real quick to kind of see how things are looking. I know if the homeowner cares, or they're selling this house, so they just want it as presentable as possible. So he already gave me the go-ahead to go ahead and clean this again if I think it needs it. And what that would be is just an encapsulation with the CRB. So let's take a look. These are polyester carpets, and this is the most hammered area, and it actually looks pretty good. I think though I would want to CRB this downstairs area again for sure, just because that is pretty gnarly. And what I would probably be using is, I would be tempted to use Commercial Magic, but Commercial Magic is pretty high pH. It's like a 12.5 I believe, so that is not a real good free rinsing agent, and that's kind of what I'm looking to do, is a free rinsing, because I don't have enough time just to be spending lots of time on this. So I might just use some Commercial Magic on that major hammered area there and there, in those traffic areas, and then the just like a blast or a sodium carbonate or something, another Vacway product, just to give it a quick end caps, and that would really alleviate some of the smell. I do smell a little bit of dog still in the carpet, not nearly like what it was. It's not bad at all. Coming upstairs actually looks a lot better than what I thought that it might. Okay, we know there's a bleach spot there. There was a bunch of yellowing, but we did treat it with some stuff. It came out pretty good. I don't see anything in there. I do know that in the bedroom back here there was some ink, or in the closet. Yeah, so one thing about ink and stuff like that is that once you get cleaning and the carpeting gets wet, you pretty much dilute all the power of your POG or whatever that you're using to get ink out. And that's sort of what happened. We got quite a bit of the ink out, but then it just got so diluted that the POG wasn't doing anything. So I'll probably hit that up one more time. But the carpeting, for the most part, looks pretty good. For polyester, things didn't turn out too shabby. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to go ahead, go out to the truck, grab my CRB and some Commercial Magic and some other cleaner, and we'll go ahead and get started with the downstairs spot. We may elect to touch this area up here, although it doesn't really look bad. It just might be partially caused by lighting. Alright, it's looking a lot brighter. We're lighting up the color. It's looking a lot better than what it was. Now, and mind you, this is post-treating after a very extremely thorough clean that we did the other day. This is just with the CRB, and this is just down here alone. You see all that hair that we pulled out. I'm going to go over it again because it is not really showing signs of letting up. And over here you can see I went over this probably in 3 or 4 different directions just to be as thorough as we possibly could. But I'm going to go over it one more time just to continue pulling out matted hair, and I gotta say that the odor is gone at this point. I think we got the culprit. So I'll go over this again, maybe twice, just to see how much we can actually remove, and go from there. I know we got a few hours, so we can work upstairs, going through some of the rooms. Not nearly as thoroughly as we've done down here, but this down here is going to be the showpiece of impression when people walk in to look at the house. So as long as this area looks really good, you can see those traffic areas really lightened up. And we do have a urine spot here that we did treat a couple days ago. It was extremely yellow, so that looks much better. And then the one that was over here is almost 100% gone, but we'll probably just go ahead and put some urine eraser on both of those and let it do its thing. So what I have here is some urine eraser by Vacaway. It is a peroxide and a proprietary blend of other products in there. They're not going to tell you what it is, but I've used it and I've been very impressed with it. It does treat the urine, it breaks salt crystals and all that sort of stuff down. But more importantly, it gets the yellowing out, because a lot of times with your topical cleaners, they don't address the staining that actually occurs due to the urine. So this stuff goes down 100%. So you just put it in a spray bottle like this, and we'll go ahead and we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna take this product, and we've already applied it here a couple days ago, and it has done a pretty phenomenal job. And I've applied some here, and I know that there's an area upstairs where I did apply it, and the spot's almost completely gone. But just like anything else, I either didn't put it down heavy enough, or you just need to give it a couple applications. So stuff like this is a great product to if you were to leave anything with a customer. A lot of times I do, depending on the soiling. Sometimes it's just a peroxide cleaner. Like peroxylant is an excellent all-purpose spotter that you can mix up very inexpensively and just stick it in a bottle and hand it to your customer as an appreciation gift. And especially if you attach a business card to it, or even have personalized business bottles made up, or labels, is something that you could slap on there. Goes a great way, because what they do, they keep it under their sink, or down there, or wherever they keep their cleaning supplies, and every time they clean, they're seeing your name, your logo, your face, if you have a face on it, your phone number, and all that stuff. So you're constantly, I don't want to say bombarding them, but the concept out of sight, out of mind. Well, you're going to be in sight and in mind. So when it comes to carpet cleaning, you're going to always be more in the forefront than in the background, and that's where you want to position yourself. So even a urine eraser, I mean, this stuff is $35 a gallon. So it's a little bit more expensive. I mean, maybe this is something you could sell to your customer for $10 a bottle or something like that. And basically, when there's a urine spot, dab up the wetness with this wetness, and just put this on there, and it pulls the coloring out. And again, like I said, sometimes it takes a couple applications, so that's why it's really awesome to leave that sort of stuff with the customer. Stain removers for coffee, the exact same way. Sometimes it just requires a couple applications. And when you're truthful and upfront and let them know how the chemical process works with the chemistry and everything, you sound a lot more truthful and a lot more educated, and plus you're giving them something and they feel like they are a part of the process. So it's a way of just adding to the whole carpet cleaning experience. Alright, and up here, there's a little bit of discoloration up here as well. When I originally cleaned up here, this was a bright orange, and I didn't know what it was. So the urine treatment was a guess, because I knew that there were a lot of dogs in here, obviously by the amount of dog hair that was coming out. So, yeah, my intuition worked well this time. It doesn't always work, but I'm glad to see that these dark orange spots along the baseboard here are lightening up. And with another application of the pee eraser, or the urine eraser, it's just gonna pull it all out, and they won't even be visible anymore. And in this closet, the last time I was here cleaning, there were a bunch of urine spots in the closet, and it looks like they pretty much all came out. So Yeehaw! The urine eraser by Vacaway Products works absolutely excellent, you guys. Awesome for getting that yellowing out of the carpeting. Okay, so I've determined there's one area specifically upstairs that I want to hit up with the CRB, but I was curious as to what would happen if we went over again with a very, very thorough vacuum. This time I pretty much doubled over everything and overlapped by a huge amount. Like I did like 80% overlap, so every area got absolutely the max amount of vacuum that they say that I think it's the II or the CCIRC reports. Is it CCIRC or yeah, one of those reports that a typical vacuum needs about 7 passes to get all the debris out of the carpet, and I'm sure that we definitely did 7 passes over every square inch of carpeting upstairs. But check this out. This is after we were in here. We did a thorough vacuum, we did a CRB clean, we did a hot water extraction, and we still just pulled all that stuff out of the carpeting. Absolutely blew my mind that much more debris could possibly still be in there. And I thought we did a really, really, really thorough job the other day. It just goes to show that carpeting can be very deceptive. And that was probably why I was getting those second doubts as I was cleaning. Like, something doesn't seem right here. It's not looking like it should be looking, but we are taking absolutely every measure to get it looking the way it should be looking. I mean, this down here, this is how these carpets should be appearing. And you saw the amount of the dog hair that came out. So now we're going to go upstairs. I'm going to use a sodium carbonate up there because we're not necessarily wanting to re-wash the carpets or re-clean. Wash is another one of those red flags that go up, along with medicine. Can you put some more medicine over there on the carpets? Yeah, okay. So anyways, we're going to go back upstairs. We need some sodium carbonate, and we're going to groom for more hairs to see what comes out, especially in these 3 areas that I want to hit up specifically. The rest of the bedrooms we might just leave because they actually look a lot better after we pulled out another bag of another Kirby bag of debris. It's like almost up to that line, and I'd say another 3 or 4 pounds of debris in there. So the specific areas that I want to hit up are up here at the top of the landing up here. There's a pocket office. The carpet is just a little dingy to my liking. And we come in here, we got some more dinge in here. You can see the discoloration. I want to hit that area up. And while we do that, we might as well just hit the whole room up. And then in here, I definitely want to hit this room up again. And I believe that's the only one. Now, come back through the rest of them. You know, just going back over with a good vacuum actually looked really good. We might hit this area up right here. This is obviously the main traffic area right here. And that's the only visible in here. I mean, there's a little bit over here, but that's just, a lot of this just could be padding that's just worn down. But we'll play with it and see where we go. The hallway looks good. And I believe this back bedroom, yeah, this back bedroom here looks good. So we're going to hit those 3 areas up for sure, and then possibly go into the master bedroom there. We just completed the upstairs portion, just 2 of the 3 areas that we were focusing on. But you can see this dark spot here lighting up pretty good. And we did pull out quite a bit more hair. Not nearly as much as downstairs, obviously, but quite a bit. So that's what I was kind of going after, was more hair. And it's looking bright and clean. So we'll finish this area off here. I'll go out it a few directions. Maybe hitting it a little bit harder than over there, because this area here, we want it to look pretty pristine as well, coming up the stairs. And then obviously, we want to work on these stairs too. So I'm going to be in capping. They were already very thoroughly vacuumed and hot water extracted, and I wanted to do some work on the bowl nose and that sort of stuff with in capping. So we'll be using a combination of brush and a terry cloth towel to kind of scrub those down and make those look good. Not nearly as much, but that's the takeaway from that little landing up there. You might go over it one more time because it seems like we pull out about that much hair every time we go over an area. But right now we're in the master bedroom. We're going to pre-spray this area right in here and just go hit this area up really good. And I would imagine the same amount of hair would come out, so depending on how much comes out, we might just hit up the rest of the room. Using less pre-spray because really I'm just using it to lubricate the machine so it's not the brush is running on dry carpeting. But we'll put a little bit extra down on this traffic area just to try to get as much up out of there as possible. The master bedroom here, we pretty much annihilated these traffic areas. The CRB, doing some CRB maneuvers, so I might have to go over those sometime. That really helped to pull those traffic areas up. And that was the sodium carbonate, so I wasn't really expecting that. Sometimes you need to bust out the something a little bit higher pH like the Commercial Magic, and it usually does a pretty good job. But peroxide and sodium carbonate did a pretty nice job in here. Now, there was quite a bit of debris, dog hair. Look at that. That was just in the master bedroom. So I'm going to go over it again just to go one more time. We are getting close to our time constraints, so we need to start heading off to another job. But we got a couple more hours, and I also want to give a good hour on the stairways as well, just to do a super duper job. It probably won't take an hour, but I like having plenty of buffer space when I'm working. So in terms of debris, I just dumped it out. It's all that hair that's in there, quite a bit of it. It filled up the entire tray that we're working here, and this is I believe it's a gallon-sized tray. I mean, I believe they measure them in gallons. And so between that tray and the 4 pounds of debris that we vacuumed out, there was quite a bit of more debris that came out after the carpets have been thoroughly cleaned. So that just goes to show you guys that sometimes debris comes off like layers of an onion, where you can go over it once and you're pulling out tons and tons of debris, like massive amounts, but you're just not seeing the results that you're wanting. Lo and behold, it came back. I wasn't expecting to be pulling out as much as I was here, so that's just a testament of how much nasty stuff is actually in the carpets, or could be in the carpets. Because sodium carbonate and peroxide is a free rinsing agent, I went ahead and I applied it very generously along the stairways. I put up about a gallon of product along here. And it does not need to be extracted. Everything here has already been extracted. Now we're just rubbing out any spots and dirt on both edge noses and, you know, all that sort of stuff to get them looking pristine. Coming down the stairs, they look much brighter, much cleaner now. Got the bowl nose cleaned up on them, look a lot better. Now this is after extraction again, like I said. After an extraction, heavy vacuuming, and all that sort of stuff. This is just from the bowl nose. All that dirt is actually both sides, front and back, on those terry cloth towels. And that was just from rubbing it across the bowl nose and trying to get some dirt transfer out of there. Quite a bit. But anyways, this is an extremely thorough carpet cleaning that we did out here in Vancouver to get this house ready to go on the market. And I honestly have to say that I am very pleased with it. The way that this looked, it looked like it was pretty much trashed out and was needing to be replaced. But as of now, we're getting all the pounds of hair and sand and debris out of here. The carpeting came back to its natural colors. We did pre-treat a couple areas like over here and over here. And there are a couple upstairs of just urine, you know, which may or may not come out. We did pre-treat it again for the second time, so we did it as thoroughly as we possibly could. Again, I'm not nearly ever this thorough, but a lot of this is exploratory cleaning, and really came a long ways as far as realizing how much hair. I've always known that the CRB just pulls out tons of matted hair, but here was a scenario where you never would have guessed it was in the carpet. You could smell it though, however, but then it just kept coming out, and going over everything, multiple times. I believe we finally got a bulk of it up out of there. I don't smell any animal now. It was atrocious when I first walked in here the other day. By the time we left, we could barely smell it. And now, after going over with some sodium carbonate and peroxide, which is a natural deodorizing agent as well as a cleaner, I don't even smell anything now. We pulled out, tons. You could see from the pre-vacuum and that we did and everything else that we just pulled out massive amounts of debris. So these carpets are as clean as they're going to get.